Welcome to the Wrap-Up, a VR live stream focused on keeping you up to date with the adoption of universal profiles and growth of the new creative economy. Join us as we uncover the fusion of technology, artistry, and innovation that's redefining how we create, share, and experience in this digital age. It's time to wrap it up. Welcome back to the Wrap-Up, everyone. Today's January 5th, 2024. Take a moment to click that like button and subscribe if you haven't already. It helps a ton and ensures that you don't miss any of our upcoming episodes. Also, be sure to find us on Common Ground in the MetaHeads and KEEZ communities, because Common Ground is the Web3 community platform that we've all been waiting for. And if you were there this morning, you caught up with us pre-show while we kind of had a degenerate hour. Yes, Alts?
Yeah, it was DGen hour in full effect, but the rated PG-13 version. So, as we mentioned, the R-rated version will be token gated. So, for the more shenanery, you're gonna have to do that.
Yeah.
But no, it's always fun. It's really great to, prep for a Web3 show on a Web3 platform.
Yes, love being on Web3. Alte, how are you? Esperlin, good to see you today. Thanks for tuning in. Um, this is a fun one because we've had some fun price action. So I'm actually a little excited to make this work.
Oh yeah, I know, right? A little volatility is wonderful. It's a good start to the new year. A lot of stuff lining up.
Yeah, it is a new year, and we might have a little bit of a New Year special to lead off the show. But before we get there, a word from our friends and sponsors over at LEEQUID. LEEQUID, a liquid staking solution tailored for the LUKSO blockchain, enables low-friction staking of LYX tokens redeemable for SLYX tokens on a one-to-one basis. Its custom liquidity pool allows for quick staking changes, avoiding traditional network delays. Supported by LUKSO advisors and launched post-consensus audit in October of 23, LEEQUID ensures a secure and user-friendly staking experience. Be sure to follow LEEQUID on Twitter for opportunities to earn passive rewards while participating in the overall security of the LUKSO network. Okay, first tweet of the day is actually from LEEQUID. Go figure, right? And LEEQUID says, for those that missed it, we've updated the roadmap on leequid.io to reflect our 2024 milestones. They say they've been doing some major progress towards reopening staking, and they want to let us know how they're going to operate moving forward. And then they tease it, say more on that this next week. Roadmap's been updated. Alts, what are you most excited about on this roadmap?
Man, I love to see it. The direction they are headed is pretty epic. Like, so they got some room for some node operator onboarding, some expanded rewards tables, some further actual up universal profiles integration, which I know a lot of us are super amped for. A DAO transition, staked licks product integration. I didn't know that was even on the roadmap. That is awesome. And this one really gets me hyped. Auto compounding. It's one of my favorite things to do is go in there and manually, take my rewards and restake them. So to just compound, that's the really the alpha there is the growth, right? Is to compound your rewards. But to have that set up for auto to make it even easier is pretty epic.
Oh yeah, auto compounding would be absolutely phenomenal. And also saying he just can't wait for the emails. If he can configure an email that tells him that his rewards have been auto compounded. I just imagine Alt's laying in bed with his phone, just scrolling, being like, "Oh, refresh, refresh. Is it compounding yet? It is. Yes."
For sure. I'd be like, is it compound day? Is it the hour? How often do I need to check this notification? But yes, I would absolutely love that. Give me those dopamine hits on the reg, fam.
Dopamine hits on the reg. All right. All joking aside, though, really interesting stuff going on here. We definitely want to pay attention to transition to a DAO. That means we're going to move from a multi-sig responsibility alone to probably some type of decentralized, autonomous, and organization that is going to make decisions for the LEEQUID protocol and how it's going forward. I don't know whether that will be some type of token drop or some other mechanisms. Too early to speculate. And even if I knew, I wouldn't tell you. So we are definitely going to keep an eye on the DAO transition moving forward, because I think that that's really important for such a large and base and such a large protocol, an important protocol early on in the staking ecosystem. That one is certainly on my mind. All
For
right,
sure.
moving on.
Love that.
Moving on, Alts, we got a tweet from Samuel himself. Happy New Year, reflecting on 2023, a pivotal year for his co-founder Carlos Caldas and himself as they're building drops across multiple time zones. And Sam writes a nice little Medium article here and shares some insights on risk as an investment, build around people, and let the criticism in, but filter it. And this man here you want to listen to, Alts, because he also trains in Muay Thai. Okay, so watch out for that guy.
Yeah, I will say, walking the streets of Istanbul at night, I felt a little safer with Samuel by my side, just in case anything went down.
Yeah. Sam is a young guy, but he is a gigabrain, very, very smart individual. He's a CTO for Drops. They've got a nice team that they've built there. Again, and Drops is a team behind LEEQUID. That's why we put this up here. Do me a favor, go to his Twitter, give him a follow, check out this Medium article. Sam's a smart guy. It's good to be in touch with the builders in this space.
Indeed, indeed. Well, next up, we've got a tweet from Common Ground. They were hopping in there earlier when we were doing some prep for the show. Like we said, it's a really great platform. It is literally designed for Web3 users, and they have a huge focus on LUKSO ecosystem. And there are a lot of new Common Ground LUKSO communities popping up. So make sure you're in there, and you can actually already link your universal profile. But they have plans to integrate, further and to add LSPs, and we're gonna be able to have some real fun in there.
Yeah, we love doing our pre-show in there. It's kind of like a co-work session. Today we had, I think, 9 people that popped in. So if on your Friday morning or afternoon or evening, depending where you are, you want to come in, you want to hang out, very predictably, the wrap-up crew, we are in the KEEZ Common Ground on an open call where you can just come and chat and vibe out, and every now and then get some alpha dropped. Some of our communities in the LUKSO ecosystem have actually really just poured themselves right into Common Ground. I'm looking at Chill Whales, right? Chill Whales actually discontinued their Discord and just said, hey, we're going to build this community in the Common Ground ecosystem. Why? Because we want to be real participants in this ecosystem. And I stress real participants in this ecosystem. So again, if you're not on Common Ground already, what are you waiting for?
Yeah, what are you waiting for, fam? Get in there, be Web3.
Web3. All right. Now we get to the top stories, which is our New Year's resolutions. Oh, lovely. And it starts with a tweet from Fabian. And Fabian's got a nice picture. I think that's the morning. I don't think that's the evening, although the 2023 dawn. Dawn means sun rising. So I got a little confused there, but I get what he's saying, right?
Yeah, yeah, I guess that's true. But yes,
Who hasn't heard about that? You're late to the party.
2024 is definitely going to be the year of LUKSO. We're going to hop on everyone's map, right? It's going to be a big year, and I think Fabian knows it better than anyone.
Oh, yeah. He's been telling us for a while. So that brings us to we have really 2 resolutions on the wrap up. Our first resolution, let's stop being mindless shills, right? That's resolution number 1 as a community that we should undertake. This is a tweet from Joseph DeLong underneath. You can see the quote tweet on top, from Alex Moeller. But Joseph says, watch me reel in LUKSO bots. Are you ready? Account abstraction. And what's ironic about this tweet and why we chose it is there actually are no LUKSO bots. If anyone replies, it's a LUKSO community member. We're super vocal and we definitely get into the replies and the quote tweets. I think the message here is best relayed through the next tweet. And this is the one where Greninja actually quotes Samuel Cardio, the CTO from Artifact. Now, Samuel literally says, hey, I'll be expanding my horizons over the next year, looking into both Solana and LUKSO. Number 1, super bullish. For so long, Samuel's like, I am not paying attention to LUKSO. Just put that out in the future. I'm not even going to look at it. Here he says, I'm going to look at it and then put you next to arguably the number 3 blockchain, which, if you go Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, LUKSO gets mentioned in that same family, which should be super bullish. What he does say is, please do not start shilling a project or go cult-like. This kind of behavior drives me away. What is the first thing that we do, Alts? What is the first thing that happens?
Well, the first thing you should do is be like, oh, just stop yourself, because you have that trigger, right? Like, oh, sweet, let me get in there, But yeah, I think it's just good to be mindful. Like you said, we can kind of in 2024 we can try to do better, make sure that we're productive. Obviously, like trying to be selective about because that's the thing. We know we have the alpha, right? And we know most people in this space are just simply not aware of it. So it's about, if you want people to get engaged, you have to kind of find them on an individual basis, kind of where they're at, and then try to meet them there. Just dabble a little bit and don't hit them over the head. Otherwise, it could be super overwhelming. It's like that takes me back to that skit we did in the elevator, pink pilling Vitalik, and just like boom, 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 boom. They just get overwhelmed.
Yeah, it reminds me also from the Matrix. Like you can't wake anyone up; it's dangerous. Or never wake up a
Right.
sleepwalker.
Yeah.
It's kind of like that. So what you did see under that Samuel tweet were a lot of Luxo community members trying to be really helpful. Hey, can I point you in this direction for information? If you need anybody to bounce an idea off of, I'm here. That's great. I love that. I love that kind of reply, guys. The ones that kind of piss off, I guess piss people off is the like, hey, we're going to a moon with a price prediction immediately after, or like, see, it says it like, this project is definitely coming to Luxo. I think that drives people nuts because there's a lot of financial responsibility that comes with these large positions. If you're a technical officer, like a chief technical officer, or you're a project founder, and you start to mention something that can swing a market. And I don't think anybody wants to be responsible for other people losing money based upon speculative judgments. So they try to keep it really quiet. And what we don't want is we don't want to drive really important potential ecosystems away from Luxo, because no one can talk about Luxo without us immediately as a community going fucking insane. Excuse my language.
But yes, yeah, that's right. And that's one of the things too. Is like the Luxo community is different, right? The Luxo project is different. We're taking the organic approach where we're focused on building and creating and having something more sustainable, not a VC pump, chill and pump and dump kind of mechanic, right? So yeah, so I think it's just in general, we're already different, right? So it's more about spreading the alpha as opposed to speculating on price, which I mean, I know people always want to do that still. It's part of the fun, but I think it's important to make sure you do that in the right channels.
Yep. All right. So this account Greninja was actually an interesting account because it's somebody's alt account. Alt account. It could be Alt Anonymous's
It's
alt
not
account.
Alt's account, no.
All right. And it's not even Lorian's, but it's somebody's, and it literally says that in the description of Twitter. If you go to this tweet, once we post it in the description, and you scroll down in this tweet thread, there's a really interesting kind of detective story that Greninja tells about an Ethereum wallet that holds over 51,000 ETH. That is also a very large Luxo holder, holds over 500,000 Lux E at one point, right? And now a lot of those Lux are being staked. We're always saying, when are the Ethereum OGs going to recognize what's available here? Well, Greninja begins to tell an interesting story. I think it's something that you, as a community member, might want to scratch on if you haven't already.
Interesting to dive into for sure. Yeah.
All right. So if we don't want to be, if we're not trying to be like, hey, Lux to the moon every time someone talks about it, what's a good example of someone just being productive as a reply guy? Let's go to the next tweet.
Yeah,
And
we got
who?
one. Oh, go ahead.
Oh no, I'm saying, who is this that replied to Samuel?
The wizard himself.
Everybody will move to LUKSO.
Yeah, like he said, he put a note. There's some artifact assets that need to go from L14 to Luxo mainnet anyway. So that might be a good reason to look into dematerialize. So if you don't know, Artifact actually had already done a drop on Luxo a long time ago, well before clones ever came out. And it was on the L14 testnet, right? So DMAT is working on porting those OG NFTs onto mainnet. So yeah, it's a great time to actually be digging into Luxo and kind of, if someone's curious and wants to know, yeah, it's a great time. And Samuel actually replied to that too and said, yeah, we should hop on a call soon to chat about it. So that's great.
Yeah, those are the connections we want to make. So again, if our first resolution is let's stop being mindless shills, like let's be a little bit more of an elevated shill, like put your pinky out while you're shilling. Right?
I
That's
like
what we're
that.
saying.
I like that. A more highbrow. We'll be a fancy shill.
Yes, fancy shill for the foundation for the new creative economy.
Don't reply indeed, Jack.
Jack. All right. Our second resolution, start taking innovation seriously and participate. Okay. So before I even get to this tweet, I said, Alt, how many universal profiles do we have right now? Do you remember what the number is that you gave me, Alt?
I gave you 10,000, but because I was trolling you for a second first. But it was like 3586, I think, something like that.
3586. And like for the number of accounts that I see on Twitter, for the number of token holders that we have, to only have 3586 universal profiles. Guys, start taking innovation seriously and participate. Your digital ownership matters. And Jake Prinz, one of the founders, a co-founder of Universal Page, actually put out 2 separate Medium posts talking about the importance of digital ownership, why it matters, why you should participate, and how Universal Page is actually making it accessible to everyone. Alts, did you check out either of these Medium articles?
I did. I did give them both a read. If you don't know, he's put out several articles about the LUKSO ecosystem and these new standards. And yeah, man, he does such a great job at kind of recapping this stuff. It kind of gives us the overall arcing of just kind of the evolution of the internet and kind of the evolution of blockchain and kind of how that growth is happening and how it should be centered around our digital identities and our digital experiences, and the focus on decentralization, right? Which I think is really, really key. So yeah, well done, Jake. You've been crushing it with these articles. It's like really the true ethos of Web3 is owning things, and that needs to include identity.
Sure. So there was actually 2 of these Medium articles that we put in the notes today. The reason I put both of them up there is so that you as a listener has a quick access to the link so you can go find them in the descriptions when we post it. Jake really stressed at the end of the first article, the one that you're looking at the link for now, it's a call for innovation. You know, the potential for digital ownership through blockchain technology is vast, but it requires active development and innovation by creators, developers, and companies to fully realize and integrate, right, the internet's new era. And really what we should focus on, this is synthesizing the key points from the first article. And then Rob, you can move it to the second tweet right now. Um, in the second article, he talks about the focus on practical benefits that blockchain technology and digital ownership can give you in really in an empowerment sense. And that by making the technology less intimidating, that's what LUKSO is serving to do. And the builders on LUKSO is really trying to do. It showcases the practical applications of blockchain and digital ownership and how it can become really an empowering tool for a worldwide audience. Again, Jake is a gigabrain. He's really one of the early builders in this ecosystem. I think it's worth giving these 2 articles a read.
Yeah, well said, Heath. Yeah, definitely go check out both of these guys. It's making digital ownership accessible to everyone. It's such a key point of crypto. If you've been here for very long, you realize there's really not that many people actually utilizing this technology. But that's changing quickly, and it's changing very fast. And we're gonna get a big upgrade on that evolution front, as LUKSO goes live, actually, spreads out. One of those examples is Universal Page as it goes live here in 3 days. It's going to be a great use case of a way to innovate and improve the user experience, right?
Yeah, and actually, we have a tweet right there responding to our friend Rob. I'm waiting for the Rob song.
Oh, sorry.
R.O.B. Rob. R.O.B. Rob. Rob, 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 Rob.
Oh man, you got me at my desk laughing like an idiot. Oh God. But Rob actually highlights, right? It forces with blockchain-based accounts such as universal profiles, the power goes back to the user who has full control over their profile and can take their belongings or digital ownership, whether it be things that correlate to your identity or just holdings that you have. You can take them with you wherever they go. And this forces platforms to stay innovative and keep improving the user experience because it's much easier for users to switch to a competitor. Again, if we're no longer siloed in these walled gardens, if you can move your digital presence from one application to another, but maintain a lot of the integrity of your digital presence, that can be your ownership, that can be your contacts, your followers, the reputation that you gain, then it's going to make for an extremely competitive ecosystem to build the best experience for all the users. And that's what Universal Page says, right? That, they're going to keep innovating, keep improving the user experience in Web3. This is essential to create a loyal audience and build a company that lasts. That has been their strategy from day one. They're going to continue to do that in 2024 with, as Alt alluded to, January 8th, when they launch, it's only the beginning.
Only the beginning. It's going to be really, really fun. And I think once people start to kind of see, and that's one of the great things of Universal Page, it's a great example of how to utilize universal profiles and these new standards. And it's gonna be a lot of fun, man. Next couple of weeks, we're gonna roll out a lot of things. It's gonna get a lot of people excited and start opening up some eyes. And I think we're gonna see that number of universal profiles created go up quite a bit. And remember, like if you haven't made one yet, you can make 3 for free because the LUKSO Foundation is subsidizing that gas for you. And they're gonna give you a monthly quota of gas to experiment and dabble and play around in this ecosystem. So there's really no reason not to come test it out. You make a universal profile, you can do 2FA backup through your Google account or through an email. You don't have to even mess with the seed phrase. Like it's a completely new UX. Like if you have not tried it out, give it a try, fam.
I love that. That's a good call to action right there. So, if we're saying our resolution is start taking innovation seriously and participate, you can make a universal profile. That'll help you participate. If you're someone that's like, I can't figure it out, I just have no idea how to operate anything, I'm not going to do that right now. Well, there are other ways to participate because a lot of us have a presence in traditional social media platforms. Professor Lux, as he's rebranded Professor LUKSO, right? He's gone out of his way to start creating these incredible threads to start to explain to people what is happening on the back end and why it's important to users on one side and then developers on the other. This is a great example of participating in a very, let's say, productive way, right? Even though that Professor Lux isn't out there building on top of the LUKSO standards, what he's doing is he's finding a way to bring more people into an inclusive ecosystem by discussing these really difficult topics out in public, right? And it's allowing more people to gain access to our ecosystem. What I would say, if you're someone that's like, I have no idea where to start, hey, start by sharing these threads, right? Just start by hitting retweet, right? The reason why that's important is the more that you retweet these things, it sounds trivial, but like it's true. The more eyes that see them, and the more eyes that see them, the more people will get curious. The more people get curious, the more people we have in the ecosystem, and eventually we can bring them to the point where they become universal profile users.
Yes. I mean, it's a collective effort, right? We are LUKSO, right? So everybody, it's a spectrum too, right? Like you said, Eth, if you're technical, there's some things you can do. If you're non-technical, it doesn't matter what your skill set is. You can be an active participant that helps move the goalpost and helps kind of with the pink sprawl out into Web3, right? Because we're planting pink pills everywhere and then allowing people to come find them. So this is one of the great ways. And Professor does a wonderful job at putting out these threads, really breaking down some of the technicals in a digestible manner, right? So, and this one he talks about social fi, which if you haven't woken up to social fi yet, it's going to be huge. And even take the time to really understand why LUKSO is going to be huge in social fi. I mean, that's one of these great things is every time one of these threads comes up or something, if you don't quite understand them, if you take the time to really digest it, it just makes you even more bullish and make more comfortable in your position as a LUKSO holder, right? Because the true value proposition of LUKSO just becomes apparent even more apparent every time you learn one of these new standards.
Yeah, and it elevates the discourse, right? So
Right.
instead of saying, if we go back to stop being mindless shills, instead of being limited to the discourse of when moon, instead we can start to bring a conversation out to the public forums that are a little bit more involved, a little bit more engaging, and will pique some interests of people who are not just looking for the next shitcoin trade. Although most of us here, I mean, let's be really honest, are interested in the valuation of the network, we're not going to get to the valuation that we desire by just talking about price. We need to get users. We need to get people. We need to get network activity. How do we get network activity? Well, we have to demonstrate through great products like Universal Page, just for example, and LEEQUID, like we mentioned earlier, right? We have to demonstrate the value proposition in those products, but also be able to take the why we want to use those products and create these like let's call them hooks, right?
Yeah.
That people can kind of like I don't know. I want it to be like when you're walking through the field and you get those little barbs that like stick on your leg.
Oh, wow.
Right?
Jeez. Yeah.
Well, I don't want to be painful, but I want to be
It's
annoying
like
like that.
a pink pill is like the entry level drug. It's the gateway drug to the future of Web3 UX.
That's great. People mothers against pink pills.
Well, let's put a cap on this section with another tweet from Jake, who says, may all your soons turn into a finally. Chapter 1 It really is. Yeah, we're kind of putting chapter one to a close, and chapter two is actually the true beginning of the. We built the infrastructure. Now it's time to start using it, right? So yeah, 2024 is ours, right, fam? It's yours. Go. It's up to you to go get it, right?
Yeah. May all your soons turn into moons. That's a quote from Rob this morning. And I agree, Rob. That's exactly right. May all our soons turn into moons. It'll be fun to revisit this particular broadcast come the end of December next year to see how far we've grown.
For sure, for sure. Speaking of growth, let's head in up and to the right.
And up and to the right, we provide a weekly review of the markets from a LUKSO perspective. We present a range of prices from the lowest to the highest, and then we give the prevailing price at the time of the broadcast. Moreover, we provide a summary of the market capitalization and compare the existing market framework with our market cap goal, a humble top 100 placement. And we give the indicated associated price point. This is not financial advice, anything you hear in this section. This is purely our opinion. We're not experts. If you need specific advice, please ask someone who's a professional in that area. Listen at your own risk and always double check before making decisions based on what we talk about. Alts, that looks like an up and to the right chart there, doesn't it?
That's hella up and to the right. Yeah, I love it. Yeah, never financial advice, fam. But yeah, I love the direction we're headed on. The volume uptick lately has been phenomenal, which is great. And we still don't have any of those top three, biggest exchanges. So I think it's just there's a good chance we see continued growth moving forward, right?
Oh, it feels like the soons are about to turn into moons. It definitely feels that way. So I loved when Rob said that this morning. You can see that our current price is up over $10. It might have fallen off because we've had some volatility this morning, and I'm not checking the live price chart. But you can see, we hit a 7-day high of $10.39, which is great. I mean, if we can flip resistance and support here and actually make a support somewhere in the $10 area, like I'm okay with that, huh?
I would support that.
I would support that. In order to get into the top 100, though, we would need a token price of $19.29. Interesting. Who is the 100th number 100 right now, Alts?
Blur, which is kind of funny. Like that
Ooh.
a marketplace is number 100, right? As opposed to like a layer one blockchain that actually could make that marketplace irrelevant with with on-chain royalties as an example. But yeah, like I was looking through the top 100 too. I like to just kind of get a gauge of where things are at. And one that cracked me up, I was thinking, okay, what if Lix was $100 per coin today? Where would that put us? That'd put us around like number 30, which was Ethereum Classic. Like Ethereum Classic, right? If you think about utility and use case of Ethereum Classic versus a new layer one EVM with brand new standards and universal profiles, it's just laughable that we're that far off, right? But it just shows you that like price doesn't always reflect fundamentals right away, which is how you can discover value, right? Which I think, we're extremely undervalued still, even at $10.
Yeah, I don't know if you're like me. This goes for every listener out there. You lay in bed at night and you start doing the mental math, right? And you're like, okay, let's see. There's 42 million tokens. And if it was $10, it's a $420 million market cap. Then you started adding zeros to the back of it. And then very quickly you're like, oh God.
Yeah.
You,
And then you're
you
like,
get that.
and then the team freezes and destroys millions of their tokens because we got over $70 and then blah, blah. And then if Bitcoin goes to 150K, then that's like 4x the entire market cap of that. And then yeah, when you extrapolate stuff out, it just gets wild so fast.
What happens though is in moments like this, for all the doubt I have when the market is like crabbing or going down, the second it starts to go up, I'm like, yeah, realistically, this really could be like, some pie in the sky number, and then next thing you know, I'm, driving my pink yacht with the white beard on the bow, right? Like in my dream,
Yeah.
like that's what I'm doing.
Well, because it's interesting because if when you're in this space for a while, you realize that most people don't ever get into a top 20 project this early. They just don't, right? They don't even know about it until it's already in the top 20 and multi-billion-dollar cap. And then they're like, oh, cool. Yeah. And then it's in the top 20. And they're like, yeah, okay, now they yellow in. They're like, let's go to the top 10, which, still be headed there, right? But it's like most people just don't do the groundwork to really get in this early. So kudos to everybody that's here with us right now, right? You've already done really well finding a gem so early.
Yeah. Now the goal is to not fumble the gem, right? Like
Right.
you gotta,
Protect it.
yeah, everybody has their own price target. So I'm not telling you what to do. But if we're looking at the long-term growth potential of this network, this is not the time to be trading small movements in price, right? Don't trade volatility. Again, this is not financial advice. I'm just telling you what you should do.
Yeah, I mean, speaking to my trader self, I can out trade my trader self by just hodling this coin because it's like
Sure.
it's so illiquid too. Like the moves are quick and volatile, and it will continue to be for a while, right? So, but if you zoom out, like I mean, if we end up getting into the top 20, which I think we're easily destined for, I mean, there's no way you can out trade that. There's just no way.
Yeah. All right. I think that's probably enough price talk. Uh, I'm not sure people will be able to stand up. They'll have to sit down for a little while longer after talking about potential placements in the top 20. So let's move on to a tweet from Ledger. We've got a new coin alert. What? Lux, the native coin of the LUKSO blockchain, is now available to secure and manage on Ledger Live. We've been begging for this. We got it.
Yeah, love to see it. Beautiful graphic there from Ledger as well. I don't know if it's integrated into the mobile app yet, but it's most definitely already on desktop. I have done it, integrated it myself, and sent some links, and I can see it and added it to my accounts. I don't think you can do it quite yet on mobile, but yeah, I mean it's people were clamoring for this for a long time. It's also live on Trezor as well for the other for Jack and a couple others.
Yeah. Jack's the only user of Trezor on the planet. That's right, Jack. All right. So we if Ledger is a really kind of cool integration that we've all been waiting for, another thing we've all been waiting for is increased liquidity, the ability to move tokens off of the LUKSO network in order to, again, I don't know, like if you want to take some profit, right? So Sigma Swap actually just launched. They are live on mainnet with a really interesting integration with a wrapped Lux by using Sigma Swap protocol. It bridges LUKSO and the Ethereum networks. It allows the transfer of value between the networks, and it facilitates a conversion between Lux, the native coin for LUKSO, and then Wrapped Lux, which is a token that is an ERC20 used on the Ethereum network that can be traded inside of decentralized exchanges like Uniswap, an automated market maker. Pretty cool alts.
Yeah, yeah, I'd love to see it. Love to see more integrations coming online for ways to increase liquidity and just kind of help boost the overall ecosystem. It's great.
Yeah, it's a brand new protocol, right? So, like, again, I think in something like this, it is a bridge. Fabian put out a warning like, hey, all bridge builders, let's be really careful. These things get exploited. They have 2 audits on both the bridge and the swap from the crew at M8B. Um, so again, I would go slow here, but there is movement going back and through the bridge. Back and through, Jesus. There has been volume here. So it's interesting if you are looking to bridge value. Again, kudos to the team at Sigmatic, Jordy and Selby. Thanks for bringing something like this to the ecosystem.
Yep, well said, E. Thanks, guys. Next up, we got one from crypto.com. Checking Blank's chart every 10 minutes. Wolf, throw out the reply. Yeah, LUKSO is the one. Which we all know when it's moving, when it really starts moving, because it is so illiquid, it can move. When it wants to move either direction, it can move. And looks like the direction there is up.
Yeah, I think we did this maybe a little out of order. We probably could have put these charts immediately following the up and to the right chart. But the reason we put them up here is I made a quick joke to Rob, like we could just put them like we could literally do a slideshow of charts. There's so many people who are showing this price movement as we form that cup and handle. What is interesting that you get from this volatility alts is you have accounts like Donovan, Jolly, who are also then starting to catch up to these price movements. When you get the rocket ship as it starts to move, big accounts start to watch. So let's go to the next tweet, Rob. And Alt, you know a little bit more about Donovan than I do.
Yeah, yeah. So when you realize that he says here, when you realize the man who wrote the ERC20 standard created his own project, looking to fix all the issues of the originals and then some at only the 150 million market cap, which I think it's like 250. But yeah, so he thinks 100x is only 15.5 billion. Ape wisely. But yeah, so I mean that's one of the things is about if you are a chartor and you look at the LUKS chart, like it looks insanely bullish, right? And then when you dig in and wow, the fundamentals are actually even better. You know, like that's yeah, people get excited super fast. If you don't know Donovan, he's got a YouTube channel with about 85,000 subs doing crypto content. And I get a little alpha for you as well. He's actually going to be highlighting licks on a video dropping tomorrow. So
Yeah.
keep an eye out for that one, fam. It's going to be cool.
Yeah, over 50,000 followers on Twitter. This is what happens when you start to get solid price movements, or you get some really parabolic price movements. Big accounts start to watch, because these are easy ways for them to draw attention to themselves as well by making these calls early. So I
Yeah,
love
and
it.
this is a
I
good
love
one.
all of
When you make a licks call, your fans are going to be like, wow, damn, how did he know, man? That, oh my God, that was a good one.
it. How did he know? Well, he was listening to the Pink Crew, right? Our
He took a
reply
pink pill.
ors. Oh God. All right. So last thing that we have in this section is we got a tweet from Upturn. Upturn's going live on January 12th. The mint pass, the price is going to be 2 Lux. This is going to allow you to mint LSP7 tokens on mainnet. Some people will mint reward coins. I will be minting a shit token, a shit coin called Rob. There will be exactly one in the supply, and I'm going to hold it over Rob's head for an indefinite time period.
I'm just going to put out every day. I'm going to send you a new offer for that coin. I'll start at 1 licks and just move up every day until you sell it to me.
Yeah, there's gonna highly illiquid market, and let's be very clear, it's not a fungible token, right? This is going to have 18 decimal places, so maybe I'll send you a fraction of Rob.
We all need a piece of Rob. That's it. But no, yeah, I'm really excited for this platform. Upturn's going to be doing some really, really cool stuff. It's like some new iterations of minting tokens. You know, I'm excited to dabble as well. I got to figure out what I want to make.
Yeah, it's going to be really cool. There's a lot of opportunity here to do neat things. I think Leadfoot is definitely a visionary in this way. When he had this vision for reward tokens that could be pretty flexible. It definitely meets a vision that was put forth in the blueprint for the new creative economies. And I even saw some tweets coming out of Boys Club connected to Crypto Chic, and I believe it was Winnie, right? Saying,
Yeah.
we're going to start making some tokens as well when this comes live on LUKSO. So good, exciting stuff.
Yeah, well done, Upturn. Can't wait to give that a try. Well, let's head into the network, see what's up.
All right, quick overview of where we're at from a network perspective. We have almost 3.6 million Lux stake. That's yielding an APR of 8.2%. And that's spread over 112,000 validators right now. Woot, woot. Oh, blockchain breakdown. Love it. Love that. 10 more validators online. Let's go. All right, let's check lux.tools, because I want to see this pie chart before we get to the tweet. On lux.tools, 2 metrics we want to pay attention to. 1, look at the Lux getting burned. We're going to see even more Lux get burned soon. Oh, yeah.
Burn them.
And then the second thing is, look at the total number of nodes just continues to increase. We really love that. Looking at the pie chart at the bottom, that big section there that's purple, that's LEEQUID, right? You can see it has a very large share, and that's why LEEQUID has paused the staking on their end. And if you keep that vision in mind there, that pie chart in mind, it actually connects to a tweet from Yaman. Yaman actually mentions that LUKSO's Nakamoto coefficient is currently approximately equal to 2. And he says the LUKSO community should leverage the low cost of running a validator to enhance the network's decentralization. Alternatively, though less ideal, since we already have LEEQUID as a staking provider, we should aim for more. And he says staking services, and goes on to explain. If you're curious what the Nakamoto coefficient is, the Nakamoto coefficient is the measure of decentralization in blockchain systems, and it indicates the minimum number of entities needed to control the system. It's used to assess blockchain networks' vulnerability to controller changes. It was obviously named after Satoshi Nakamoto, the creator of Bitcoin. We're looking for a higher coefficient number because the bigger the number, the more decentralized and secure the ecosystem. Basically, what this means is if you have a Nakamoto coefficient of 2, if you had LEEQUID and another large provider that would collude, it could be dangerous for the network, right? They could take control of it. So, you're looking at that number. You want that number to be high. You want a lot of people to have to act together in unison in order to potentially endanger a network. Again, when we think about LEEQUID is actually a protocol. Has a multi-signatory team behind it, and that's why they're moving towards that DAO transition, because it just further spreads out. It's one entity, but it's going to be spread the decision making across many, 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 many people. So that, again, although that coefficient would be 2, one of those numbers would be significantly more decentralized, right?
Yeah, exactly. We want to shoot for more decentralization where possible. I'm curious if there's any others out there already building that we don't know of yet. Would not surprise me, because like as we saw with LEEQUID, they filled up within 1 week because there's a lot of pent up demand for staking options. And there's been a couple of guides put out. Mint's put one out as well. If you have your own hardware, want to get your own hardware, you can actually download the DApp node. So the LUKSO branded DApp nodes had sold out, the ones that came with some licks with them, and the custom, beautifully customized art on the DApp node itself. But you can buy a DApp node machine or get your own hardware and use the DApp node software, which is, still quite a bit easier technologically than going through and setting up one completely yourself. But yeah, so Mint is working on a guide through that. He's just vetting it now, and we'll be putting that out. But yeah, that's another great option for those of you not quite as tech savvy, but want to help do it at the core level.
Yeah, and shout out to Jordy Dutch and the service provided by the Staking Verse. If you are an individual node operator and you run into some trouble, you can ping Jordy Dutch and the Staking Verse, and they will actually help walk you through fixing issues with their node. I ran into an issue myself that I needed a little bit of help with, and Jordy was on the spot. We got on a call, and it was resolved in no time. So thanks, guys. Really appreciate it. Want to make sure that I shout that out.
Dope. Love to see that. We don't have any issues with is the pink vibes.
Almost everything I have on is pink, and it's my favorite.
Let's check out some PINKEST tweets. Love that song. Okay, so this first one is from my pup. She was rocking a Jeff Staple hoodie there, pink, living the pink lifestyle. Well done, my pup.
Look at that pup. Look at that puppers. What's the pupper's name, Alts?
I won't say because I don't want to dox her.
Oh, you want to keep her anonymous? That's Pups Anonymous. That's what it is.
Pups Anonymous. Yeah.
I love it.
She's got her only paws. I don't want to dox her.
Her only paws. Oh, geez. Oh, man. All right. Cute pup. Appreciate it. Tell pup I said hi.
Will do.
All right. What do we got here?
We got one from the only treasure holder. All right, Jack. Pink, cloud, dream, treasure. Oh, I thought he said treasure there. That's funny. Artsy, digital, cyberpunk, neon pink, Unreal Engine 5. That's a beautiful image. I could see myself rocking in that world, Jack.
Yep, I can as well. I would live there for sure. And honestly, as we embrace these digital lifestyles, as we embrace these digital identities, let's just build that world in VR chat, and I'll own it. I'll go right there. Actually, if I could own that VR chat world, that would be best.
Yes, please make that happen. That would be awesome.
Yeah. All right. Next tweet we have from Alt himself. On some distant planet, maybe Alpha Pink Turi, we have this incredible. Is that a Ferrari? Like Magnum PI?
That is a Ferrari. Yes, OG Ferrari style.
Yeah, love it.
If you can't see, this planet behind us is Alpha Pink Turi. So that is the same one in that painting there.
Yeah, I'd love to be able to hoverboard across Alpha Pink Turi.
Ooh, little Alpha there.
Yeah.
No, I'd love to see all the new LUKSO fam rolling up. It's great. Every time we get, that's one of the things, the market movements are great, right? With the price discovery, obviously for our bags, but it also means every time we get on more and more radars, and they'll love to see new faces coming in, digging into the fundamentals of LUKSO. It's great to see.
For sure.
All right, next up, we got one from the AI master Mints. Network effect is real. We literally just talking about that, right? And LUKSO is just getting started. He's got a little LUKSO DJ there, spitting some pink vibes there.
Yeah, how does he do it? Yeah,
Tonto, that's right. Really out here.
We are out here. And where I am is I'm out in that audience listening to the pink vibes from that DJ wizard. Could be Fobs. Don't know.
Definitely inspired by Fobs, I think.
I like how we just changed his name to Fobs real quick. I hope you appreciate that.
He's probably looking like, no, that's awful. I hate that.
No, that is not okay. All right. The Pink Flux, again, with a really interesting piece of pink art. I love the Pink Flux. I love what they do here. That's kind of a cool little bust.
Yeah, that's a beautiful piece there.
And
I could see that on display in the foyer of your pink yacht, Eth.
for sure. For sure. For sure. How many times can I say
We
for
are
sure?
for sure.
The one thing I'm reflecting on while looking at this art, is there another community that produces as much cool branded art? Like it's just our vibe. Is there
I mean,
anyone
as
else
far as
that
like a
does that?
blockchain community, no,
Yeah,
definitely not.
right.
We are
Interesting.
definitely more curated than any other chain out there that
Mhm.
comes straight. That's like we're following the values of the team in that regard, which is awesome.
Right. We're actually so curated that when you get a tweet from Julian.swoosh that says get this, like, guess the chain, I don't even have to see the full shape. I know exactly what he's doing.
Yeah, I love that he's got the iconic Luxo hexagon in there very subtly. It's a beautiful piece.
Yeah, definitely talking about Luxo, and Julian has done a number of art pieces recently, with the dematerialized, wearing dematerialized digital fashion, or just Luxo themed art. And Julian's quite the incredible digital artist. So I would say that that is another account to pay attention to.
Yeah, and he's got a couple out there with the Teflon Sega blade. I've got on my back right here. Yeah, epic piece. Keep those coming, Julian. We'd love to see them.
Mhm. All right, Danilo has an incredible tweet with Mickey wearing pink. Wow, I didn't realize Disney was doing Luxo branded stuff.
Yeah, they're looking up for 2024 apparently.
Apparently.
Can we make a Disney themed or theme park, a Luxo themed park? I would go visit that. Just like a big flamingo costume, like a mascot at the front. You can stop and take pictures with.
Sure, Alt. All you have to do is take a hit from Open Your Mind's bong. And once you go there, you'll never get back.
I'm in. Let's do it.
As long as they have a couch like Danilo's, then we're gonna be just great. Like, look at this next tweet
I
from
love this.
Danilo's.
I love that piece. It looks like it looks so it looks cool. Looks like it would be sitting on the pier of some sort of pink ocean where you're watching the giant tsunami come in.
Yeah, and when you press a button, candy comes out of one of those little holes.
Between your legs down there.
Oh, Lord.
Okay, next up we got one from Snaps. This one's a vibe. Mingo pink is a lifestyle. Love to see the pixel version of the flamingos there. That one is that's a banger.
Yep, that is a banger. The only thing that would make that thing better would be a pink hoodie on it, like you have digitally, or Malosi's wearing right now. I love the little nouns pin that he throws up there.
Yeah, that's great.
And it's a subtle flex.
Yeah.
Or not so subtle. I don't know.
I mean, it's pretty subtle. I'd say subtle-ish. It goes well. It goes well.
All
All right. Well, let's head into the winner from Fabs himself. Merry Christmas, LUKSO fam. This is a beautiful puzzle, and looks like a 3D puzzle once you put it together there on the right of a LUKSO. Looks like maybe it's like a hub for creation. What do you think?
Yeah, it's kind of like the Luxo headquarters, just slightly iterated on, made a little bit cooler because it's all pink. It's actually made by Clara, which is super cool. Thank you, Clara, for making Rob drool. Rob is a huge Lego fan, and proceeded to tell me how he believes that every Lego brick should be an NFT unto itself. That's
Yeah,
right, Rob.
I love that. I love that. Well, let's. Oh, I got a word from Bowie here.
I didn't strive for success. I strive to do something artistically important.
Let's check out some artistically important stuff in the F.A.M.E stinger. Another good vibe. Another good vibe. All right, first up, we got one here from Chill Wells. They got an announcement January 8th. In 3 days, they'll be launching on Universal Page exclusively on LUKSO. Stay chill, fam. Who's gonna enter the whale pod? You gonna get one, E? You got one?
I will probably have multiples of the whales. I have my OG whale. Thank you, Presto, and the Chill Whales team. I love it. It's actually the cover art for this show. You can see my whale and Alsa's whale. I've got what I would call my spirit animal
Yes,
as my
yes.
whale.
I love to see mine. It was such a cool iteration, integrating with Chill Wells and doing a little collab with MetaHeads. You'll see on mine, I have a MetaHeads Genesis bowler hat rocking on there. So yeah, shout out Presto. It was really fun collaborating with you on that. And I'm looking forward to more collaborations in the future. But yeah, there's a lot of excitement around Chill Wells, and the vibes are amazing. So yeah, I will be stacking several of those myself. Can't wait to go through the process.
Yeah, had someone even say, I saw this tweet on the timeline, Chill Whales as the Bored Ape Yacht Club of the Luxo blockchain. Interesting.
But
Time will
better
tell.
vibes, I think.
Time will tell. All right, we got it. Another incredible project here that's getting ready for 2024. Look at that cute little guy. We got Platies coming out, and I'm excited for Platies.
Yeah, I'm super excited for Platies too. They have such good vibes. I'm ready for that one. It's an interesting background too from the creators on the team there. I'll be excited to see how they kind of integrate some of those connections they have in the IRL. But I've also heard that yeah, a lot of people. I've heard several people refer to Platies as kind of the pudgy penguins of Luxo. So as another analogy there.
Ooh, I like all these analogies. Okay, so you can see the theme here in fashion, art, music, entertainment is we're actually getting real projects that are starting to launch. I mean, for so long, it's really just been the Dematerialize is the only project that could really do much, with the exception of the real like pioneers like Leadfoot or Family.lux, who have done things on testnet as well. I believe Dwope actually sent some stuff out. But now we're on mainnet and anyone can buy these things. So Chill Whales on the 8th, Platy's coming soon, and we actually have a digital artist called Datzel that will be available for a free mint on January 8th as well. It'll be 420 pieces. Super excited about that.
Yeah, Datzel. I don't know if you've been following. I've been following him for a while. Super talented artist. Which is funny because I didn't even know that they really had Luxo on their road, on their radar. And then when they put out a tweet and said that they were going to be, minting on Luxo, I was like, oh my gosh. And then he basically has said that, or they'd said that they had been holding off for a while because they wanted to focus on Luxo and do a drop there. So I can't wait to see what else they have planned to do on Luxo and to get some of that art in my up. I need it in my up ASAP.
I need it in my up. Yeah. Another thing I'm going to need in my up, even though I'm not entirely sure what this is Cupco, being founded by Jack Gem and Aureliano. So very excited to see what Cupco is.
Yeah, I'm excited to learn more about that as well. Sounds really interesting. But yeah, shout out Jack and Jam, and always bring the dope vibes, cool ideas and concepts, experimenting in some new ways, which I always appreciate. And Arliano, super talented dude. Yeah, I'm excited to see what's up with that one.
You know, what this gives you an opportunity to do if you're an early ecosystem participant is find the next big accounts, right? Like everyone's following big accounts from, the class of, let's call it like when Bitcoin was the only thing and then the altcoins and then Ethereum. I mean, Luxo's a new
Right.
and expanding ecosystem. You can find the builders early on in this ecosystem and start to follow the good people who are building this stuff. Like these are great opportunities.
Yeah, well said, Eth. Well said. One of our OGs creators platforms in this is the Dematerialized, which you mentioned earlier. They put out a tweet recently, just highlighting some of their OG pieces and letting people vote on those there. But that one in particular there is the mini Juan quartz bag by Rebecca Minkoff and DMAT. So yeah, they have man, there's so many cool pieces. I can't wait to get these ported over into our ups.
Yeah. So the theme of this is where fashion, art, music, entertainment was called out in the blueprint for the new creative economies as really a growth sector for new non-fungible tokens going forward. We've seen art as a use case on Ethereum as well as Solana and a lot of the other chains. And frankly, the non-fungible tokens as a technology can expand far beyond just static pieces of art. They can be generative art and they can move out into, like we've seen, they can move out into ticketing, they can move out into music itself, they can move out into gaming. There's a lot that can be done here. So this is probably a segment of the show that it could expand significantly, if not become its own show, because there's going to be more and more stuff that's launching. One thing that is coming that I was not even aware of, he just told me yesterday, is from from our creator Alts Anonymous Pixels. Alts, you got anything you want to say about this?
Man, yeah. So I mean, Pixels is kind of my brainchild. I've been working on the art for it for months and just didn't really quite know what I wanted to do. I was just like, I'm just going to work on it. I'm just going to build my portfolio with the concept in mind of, using the LUKSO ecosystem, the team, the vibes, the memes, all these like cool, personalities that we have, and all the cool elements that just kind of create the LUKSO lore and help grow that and extend it through digital art. So yeah, I've been, when I realized like, okay, I should do this drop on Universal Page, make it a lot easier and more fun, and yeah, so I'll be launching on the 8th as well. And I'll be putting out some more details pretty soon on the specifics. But yeah, I'm excited. And I might actually be teaming up with Chill Wells to kind of time out something on that day. So yeah, just
Oh,
keep an eye out.
alpha alert. All right. All right. Well, cool. So again, fashion, art, music, entertainment is going to be a huge ecosystem. Well, it'll be an interesting area that we should all pay attention to moving forward in the LUKSO ecosystem and the new creative economy. But for now, let's draw your attention over to some visual learning. All right, so this is actually a response tweet to a tweet from Koopa Troopa, who says 2024 is the year we make on-chain products easy to use. Someone who has never touched crypto should be able to create an account and get started within a minute or less. And Weeblock says, agree. And then puts LUKSO all over Times Square. Guys, when we said let's stop mindlessly shilling, this one right here is great. Good job.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a great way to just pique interest. But and if there's no other chain out there designed to do that, right? LUKSO is it. We're the only ones that can fully account abstract away everything while keeping decentralization. And that's how you onboard people, right? The masses will come in when they don't have to literally know anything.
Fantastic. Who's keeping the masses out? Well, these goddamn gatekeepers, Gary Gensler and Elizabeth Warren. But it's not working. So Elizabeth Warren, you can see whispering in Gary's ear, bring in Jim Cramer.
Oh my God. It's like in Pulp Fiction, bring out the GIMP.
That's right. So Jim Cramer saw that bat signal just being floated out there in the sky, and he came in right away and said, he gave Bitcoin his endorsement. And what do you see? Falls right off the cliff.
Yeah. He said you literally can't kill it, and minutes later, boom, but it never ceases to amaze me that the inverse Jim Cramer is unbeatable, fam.
Unbeatable. It's incredible.
All right, well, next one, we got one from Crypto Chic. If your brand's blockchain integration experience requires people to bridge or pay gas with a native token in 2024, you are falling behind. The untapped audience looks like this sad apple there. I know I can do hard things. I just don't want to.
That's how I feel all the time. My wife would describe me as sad apple. Ethelorian, mow the lawn. I know I can do it. I just don't want to.
It's in my wheelhouse. I'm just not going to go there.
I'm just not going to go there today. We actually have another good visual learning. This one is a sticker that was available at the Boys Club event that says, talk LUKSO to me, with the good things coming. And you can see underneath there, the Winnie.eth member of Boys Club says, bullish on LUKSO, on God. I believe that is slang for no cap, which is also slang for not lying.
For sure. I mean, it's going to be one of those things at the end of the year, we're going to look back and be like, man, we underestimated how amazing this was going to be. That's my prediction.
For sure, bro.
But yeah,
sure.
we've got one more tweet to close out this section of the show, really. We got one from Tyler Reese, the legend. Happy New Year, LUKSO fan. They're doing a giveaway starting 2024 off right with an amazing giveaway. Picking 5 winners on January 12th that are each going to get 100 licks. That's 500 licks, which is like $5,000 right now. That's an epic giveaway. Do not miss your opportunity to snag one of those 100 licks. So go make sure you give them a follow, a like, and a retweet on that one, fam.
Yeah, you're missing out if you're not at least throwing your hat in the ring here. 100 Lux could be a Lambo.
Ooh, I like that.
A pink Lambo.
Imagine if you staked 100 licks at a certain price point and just lived off the rewards.
If that was possible, then the price would have to be significantly higher.
He's giving out 5 retirement plans for the year 2030.
For the year 2052. Oh Lord, Lord. All right. Last thing, actually, because I was told that I can't forget to do this, but I almost did. Make sure you check the KEEZ DAO Twitter, because Chill Whales teamed up with KEEZ in order to do some whale list giveaways, and those were picked. So you can check to see if you were a winner. Yeah, so check the KEEZ Twitter and you can see all the names underneath there. Hopefully you found yourself on there, especially if you were looking. So congrats to all of the winners. All right, hey everyone.
To those winners.
Hey everyone. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that like button. And if you want to see more content like this, make sure you subscribe and turn your notifications on so you never miss an update. Thank you all for your continued support. We're just like you, community members that show up every day, just trying to get the most out of this experience, and really excited for the ride.
Yeah, well said, Eth. We appreciate each and every one of you for joining us. Those of you who are here live and those of you who watch on your own time, we really appreciate it. We are LUKSO, fam. And yeah, it's going to be a fun 2024 year. And congrats to the winners of those Chill Whales allow list spots. That's awesome. Speaking of whales and Chill Whales, Eth, how do Chill Whales actually do a drop?
Am I early with that one?
Yeah, yes. You preemptively. That's it. Cool. All right, guys. It's been a good show.
How do Chill Whales do a drop? On ice? I have no idea. None.
With a well orchestrated approach. There it is. Oh my gosh. Man.
We'll do it live.
Well, fam, we appreciate you, each and every one of you. Hope your Friday is going great and hope you have an amazing 2024. Let's just call it. Forget the weekend. Let's just have an amazing 2024, fam, and do what you do all year and stay pink.